Today I'm going to show you a bit some developments on Storbju Noise Monger. As you can see behind me, I'm going to explain a bit the hack I made, the hack that we explained during our initial presentation, the one we made in October. The simple cable I made, which connects Storbju to the analog sequencer I have here, or any other analog sequencer. From the first time I adopted this hack, this sort of power connection, alternative power connection, some things have changed because we have an LED inside Storbju which does take some current and which also alternates the different colors. We'll see the effect this LED is having. Possibly we might choose to offer also a constantly lighting LED to compensate for this, I would say slight, I wouldn't say glitch, but it's a strange thing, and it is a particular thing in the behavior which allows for a change in pitch every now and again during the triggering of the device from the sequencer. In general, as you can see from what I have behind me, I'm going to process Storbju into this modular I have, the Korg MS50. It will be, during the jamming session, I will be freely mixing sounds from the actual Korg MS50 itself. I will be mixing some additional noise, which is much cleaner and much less exciting than that of Storbju. And also I will be adding also the oscillator the MS50 has. I will be treating the noise monger through a VCA and through a filter, so I'll be shaping the sound. I will be shaping both the amplitude and also the filter itself. Also, I will be showing off the first, let's say, prototype of the shell that we might be distributing. I mean, this was designed using that 3D printer over there, but obviously anyone with a 3D printer can also do one themselves, but we will be offering this also as part of the kit. So enjoy, and I'll also be explaining a bit the patch I'm having and how I'm connecting. So enjoy, and any questions, please feel free to add in the comments.
Okay, so let me start off by explaining a bit what we have here. I mean, this is Storbju Noise Monger, housed in a 3D printed plastic case, sporting our national colors. It's mock-up basically of what we will be eventually launching in general as a case and as a kit. It is mounted using the alternative of setting up the potentiometers facing upwards, and it's using a Davis style of knobs that can be easily acquired over the internet. Our intention is to keep on using the white color and maybe alternate a different color here. From what you can see also, part of the board, of the circuit board, is still is exposed. Eventually this will be a transparent perspex cover which will maintain only the points where the modular section of the device obviously is available. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to operate the device. Very interesting thing I mentioned earlier is a hack I've designed for Storbju. It's basically making use of a capability that the device has. This is a power cable that is connected, as you can see here, to a sequencer instead of to a power supply. This sequencer we are talking about here is the Korg SQ10. It's a 40-year-old analog sequencer, and is capable of outputting from -5 to 5 volts direct current. When I had talked to Mike Desir about this this type of solution, he said that the most important element behind when you are feeding current not from a traditional power supply but from a sequencer is the amount of current that the device is using. Now this device, the most I'd say current consuming element in it is the actual LED, light emitting diode here, and as you can, and as I will explain in the following minutes, the type of LED we're using here is fun type of LED that is alternating colors, like a rainbow sort of element that alternates automatically. But this alternating element is consuming current and is affecting Storbju with the setup I am using here, which is a setup that will use the different voltages that I have programmed. In this case, it's a simple 4-step sequence I programmed on the SQ10, and this 4-step sequence is feeding different voltage to the power supply. Obviously, this results in a different intensity of the LED, and this results in an overall different frequency that that is fed, that through which this chip here runs at, and obviously producing the interesting noises and waveforms it produces. I have to say it's a very, very interesting effect indeed. As I've had the chance to speak and to explain to various individuals also, the best way to enjoy this type of device is to be able to connect it to other modules or synthesizers that offer the possibility of having a semi-modular or a fully modular functionality within them. And Storbju has 2 outputs. In fact, it has group 1 and group 2, which could be stereo or could be just 2 individual outputs. You can feed them as I'm doing here. I'm mixing them using a simple mixer available on the sequencer that is merging these 2 outputs into one, and then they are being fed into another 40-year-old piece of equipment here, another classic, which is the Korg MS50. It is being fed to the Korg MS50 and to its setting amplifier. And during the jamming session, obviously, I've added and included some reverb for just to add some fun to the sound. But the initial part, there will be just Storbju with a patch I have here, which is I have to say similar to a cowbell sound. It's really cool, and obviously I will then devolve this patch into more I say tweaking around. Now these knobs here eventually, which we will be labeling, the first 3 are the high speed oscillators, whilst the next 3 are the low speed oscillators. This is a master frequency control which can be disabled and activated via the light sensor. And here I have a simple setup in which I have 2 high-speed oscillators and 1 low-speed oscillator going to the main output. So far there is no modulation going on. This is a very simple setup. I'm just feeding the 3 oscillators out of 6 into the outputs of Storbju, and they are being fed then and shaped using a VCF, the 24 decibel VCF of the MS50, and they are eventually shaped also via obviously the VCA, which gives the percussive or sustained element of the sound, which I will be in the very short jam I will be showing. Bear with me, it's going to be a loopy sequence, but obviously then combined with drums and whatever, it can be quite interesting. And eventually, obviously, there are 2 separate envelope generators that I have set up, both being triggered by the 4 steps in the SQ10. And these envelopes one controls the filter and one controls the amplitude. And finally, everything is mixed together and I will be introducing a noise sound which is a bit less aggressive, I would say less interesting than actually the Storbju noise from the MS50, and obviously the infamous oscillator, which is currently in a I would believe sawtooth mode shape. Okay, let enough of me rambling, and let me switch on the sequence, and I won't be speaking anymore, so as to just show the sounds coming out, and there will be some I would say I will have subtitles going on on YouTube to explain obviously what's happening.